Alright, so new event boss battle Kyo's here, and I'll be showing how to beat them without the new shield hero characters. Of course, if you do end up pulling for them, just make sure to use them against the boss, because I believe they do more damage and take less damage, like both. Yep, they do more damage and take less damage. So whatever shield hero characters you have, even the new free-to-play Kizuna, make sure to just use here because they just have boost. In this video, I did not plan on using Kizuna because I haven't leveled her up. I'm on my janky free-to-play account because, you know, I had to do it anyways, and I wanted to show that this boss is not really all that hard. It's not anything like the rabbits we got for ReZero. And this is the team I did extreme with. I've already done like 8 times here. I did some hards actually. This is the team I used, and I'll explain how it works. Essentially, I'm using Green Sauriel to cover up for the first phase. My Green Sauriel is extremely jank. He does have, I was using attack crit on him. He does have SSR gear, doesn't have UR gear, doesn't have any weapons at all, except for the final boss one. He does have the relic because we did get a free relic and I just gave it to him. Because Green Sauriel is very powerful, and he's really good, and I use a rank up, and the reason I'm using Tremelios is essentially because I have no one else that wouldn't just cock Green Galfer passive, and I really need Green Galfer passive because my characters are very weak. If you're not a new player and you have, you know, better characters than my global free-to-play has, like I only have like 15k attack here on my Sauriel, then you won't even need Green Galfer passive, but at that point you probably have Green Galfer. He was given for free. Brynhilder, you can replace actually for the one. The one is better than her, but he needs dupes. So 1/6 Brynhilder or 4 plus 6 the one is your choice. And then Trader Mally can be anyone really. You don't need him at all. I just didn't have anyone else to use because you can see this is my jank for the play. If I had brought Milim, I wouldn't be able to choose Green Galfer passive, but if you don't need Green Galfer passive, you can just use a character like Milim, a single target character, preferably that isn't red because the boss is blue. I would personally, if I could, I would bring either Light Liz because it's actually pretty decent as well, I assume, or just again any single target character because the boss has a 20% damage cap, so you don't really need to hit him that hard in the second phase. And you see how I'm using my Trader Mally is for basically second phase DPS. The one thing I would say is to watch out for is his debuff card. It does actually disable all of your characters, but that just means that you want to do as much damage as possible as soon as you get in. So here's the run with the janky team, right? We got the Brynhilder, Sauriel, Galfer, and Tremelios, which again, I've already said all the replacements. I would say that Green Sauriel is one that I would not really replace. I would make sure to keep on this strategy, or again, use Kizuna to just make sure that she does stuff because she's a shield hero character, so she can do a lot against the boss. But here's what Green Sauriel is really good for. He's really good for this first phase here, just doing a good amount of damage to the boss, and as you saw, my Green Sauriel is very janky, so your Green Sauriel is going to do way more damage than mine. And I again only say that I don't want him to be replaced because he's an SSR ticket character. I hope you have him. Like, he is very accessible, and if you don't, that's a bit unfortunate. But here is where I think a lot of players are going to be scared to, you know, do damage to the boss because he has a reflect. But don't worry, the reflect is very weak, so he puts on the reflect and shield and you can just go in, right? Like you see, my characters don't even do that much damage because they're much weaker than they should be. They don't, like most of these characters, they don't have weapons and stuff like that, so they're very weak, and it's fine, you know. I do enough damage to the point where Green Sauriel just finishes off here. And in the second phase, because like I just said, he has a 20% damage cap, your characters don't need to be that strong. My Tremelios, he is pretty beefy, but even if he wasn't, like look, it's really not that big of a deal because 20% damage cap, my Brynhilder that has no weapons can do 20% damage cap. And then Tremelios actually doesn't hit 20% on the first hit, but he does in the second hit. And even if I didn't, it's fine, because, bro, I just did so much damage to him in the first turn here that it's no problem. If you have any good single target character, that's literally the same thing. He just has such a low percentage damage cap that legitimately it's kind of silly, right? Your characters don't even need to be strong to hit a damage cap. So it kind of disincentivizes you to even use strong characters. But yeah, and then I just kill him. Boom. My Chiller Melee, I don't think he even gets to ult because I think Brynhilder kills. Oh, he does get to ult, but it's literally almost dead. So I think this is the best way to do it, to just do it. Just kind of do as much damage as possible on the second phase, and you will be okay. Now, if you can't really, you know, mimic what I'm doing because you're a newer player, there's no shame in doing hard. Hard is much, much easier than extreme, and if you do hard every day, you'll be collecting like 40 to 48 coins opposed to 54 to 62, but you will get enough to just get the whole exchange shop, because the way you do it is, I think if you just do normal every day all 5 times, you can buy everything from the exchange shop. But if you do extreme every day, you can buy everything much faster. That's the way that they do these bosses, right? So I'm going to show a run here on hard. This is a run here without Brynhilder or Trader Meliodas. Much more accessible, right? Using Green Escanor. Still using Green Sauriel because he's a ticket character. So really, I do hope that you pull him. He's really nice to have. And then Red Galfer, because we don't really need the boost from Green Galfer. And I also wanted to use Green Arthur, so it wouldn't work to use Green Galfer anyways. So I just rank up Sauriel, same thing as before, but now you can see like we're doing way more damage because his health is much lower, and our Green Sauriel is going to do so much damage with the counters here. Now I forgot to say that, you know, it's really nice to actually get like a level 3 counter for the second phase, especially for the harder difficulty, the extreme. But he does actually remove stances with his single target, so you gotta watch out for that. His single target is just like attack card, not a debuff card, does in fact remove stances, which is kind of funny given that Naofumi is the shield hero character, and you'd think that he would be like super strong for it, but the boss removes stances. So I saw that he didn't actually have the attack card, so I just went for the stance. If not, I would have gone for just full-on attacking. And Sauriel takes pretty good care because counters actually bypass damage cap. So this is what I'm saying. A level 3 counter from Sauriel on the second phase is very, very powerful. It could do like up to probably like 40 to 50% of his health if you have a really strong Sauriel on the extreme difficulty. So we do the counter. Yeah, on hard, of course, I do quite a lot, right? This is hard, not extreme. So the damage looks pretty good here, right? Yeah, Green Sauriel is so powerful. So, in case you don't have Green Sauriel, right? In case you don't have him, I do have another run here. Without Green Sauriel, I am using Brynhilder because honestly I didn't know who else to bring. I could have just brought, again, if you have like Trader Meliodas, you could use him instead. And I brought a level 80 blue Chandler. For no specific reason. I just had to fill up space, and I was like, I have the Chandler's on my box, and he does disable. The boss is not immune to being disabled, which I find kind of funny on hard. I'm not about extreme. I don't think on extreme either, because I recall me doing so. On the first phase at least. I think on the second phase he is immune. But you see how much damage Green Escanor is able to do, because the boss is really, really weak. On the hard difficulty. Very, very weak. Even on extreme, I think Green Escanor can still do decent damage, but I mean, he could be a pretty decent replacement for Trader Meliodas. I just said, again, I personally had to use Green Galfer to do enough damage because my characters are very weak on this account. But if your characters are much stronger, then you can just go with Green Escanor as well if you don't have Trader Meliodas. Especially with Green Escanor's Relic, he has pretty high attack. Sorry, I'm very tired, so that's why my brain's not processing what I'm speaking. My brain too slow. But yeah, again, damage cap is 20%, so your characters like don't even need to be strong to hit full damage cap every single time they attack. You just want to make sure that you're attacking him 4 times. And this is where the 1 is very strong as well, because he does hit twice, so you can kill him in 1 turn, but you don't really need to kill him in 1 turn. You can just kill him in 2. So he does a little bit of damage. And you saw in the extreme he did quite a bit more damage, but it wasn't anything to the point where it was like, oh my god, I almost lost. It's okay. The boss is not hard to the point where it's like, oh my god, you guys don't even bother doing extreme, go to the lower difficulties. The boss is moderately hard.